have weekly predictions for the
No, that is
for this week.
That is the weekly prediction.
76% voted
yes.
for a KDCM win.
Yes.
Unbelievable. A 76% of players thought KDCM would win. Wow.
Since this was week 2 of the winners, or week 2 of the winners bracket, that means KSG is automatically in the top 6 this year.
Oh, you may be right.
Even if they lose their next match, they go down to losers bracket round 3. So,
yeah.
Automatic top 6.
This messed up my bracket. That's
I think everybody who made a bracket prediction, I think everybody who drew up a prediction predicted KDCM beating KSG.
You know, KSG was just this unknown quantity because they're playing the European times. We don't know how strong they are in ComQ. Yes, they finished second in ComQ, but the argument was that they played more games, they farmed weaker teams, or they played during hours when the strong teams weren't available. And here we see them pulling up the upset on the team that pulled up the upset. You know, KDCM beat the 5th Jaguar Dragoons during the invitational qualifier. And now they've lost to Casterian's Guards here in a best of 5. So it's an upset, definitely an upset.
Yep, and now looking at the bracket here, Casterian's next match will be the winner of Aubins and Mech Enjoyers. So
yeah, those are going to be 2 very strong teams. Whichever one of those 2 comes out of that match or later today, Casterian Guards would have another uphill fight there. But
Mech Enjoyers may be a little more familiar with Aubin's play, just because Mech Enjoyers, with what Casteria might do, just because Mech Enjoyers fought them in CompQ.
Yeah.
But I can say as an Aubin's player, I have no idea anything about Casterian. I really don't. I have never thought them before.
Well, there's definitely some tape on them now with them having played in the Invitationals earlier in August, and then now having played 2 matches in the top 12. So. Probably worth doing some homework for both Aubins and Mech Enjoyers once their match is done and they know who they're definitely playing Casterian Guards. There is some tape to review.
Yep. And KDCM now going to the losers bracket, losers 1.3, which means that they're fighting GNX. KDCM against GNX is a matchup I will always love to see, almost as much as I love to see GNX against Mech Enjoyers. That one's even better.
What are the top rivalries this year?
GNX and Mech Enjoyers, obviously. GNX hates Aubins. I don't know if Aubins hates GNX.
As an Aubins player, how would you not know that?
I'd say GNX and Mech Enjoyers are definitely a top rivalry. Does Clan Crossfire have beef? I don't think Clan Crossfire has beef.
They're just existing.
They're just existing.
Community-wise, they're a good team.
Yeah. No, I really can't think of any other rivalries. Yeah, I think it's all fine. I have beef with Dark Sea Corsairs. I'm kidding.
I think Feared DSC would also be interesting. Since I think last year a lot of the DSC players were on the Feared roster, so it's a similar situation.
But now, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the stream of Ivor getting the lobby ready. 5 JDX against Dark Sea Corsairs.
Yes, that is what is up. Ghost ERC, are you staying on with us, or do you have to scoot?
I will probably go warm up with my team because we also play later.
Excellent.
Yes, they play after Aubins.
We play the last match today.
Yep.
Against the enigma that is CXF.
Yeah. Speaking of them not having beef, looking at the voting here, 87% of players voted that 5JDX would beat DSC. And I feel like that's understandable. DSC is a bit of the newer blood. Meanwhile, 5JDX is a fair amount more established. They got second place last CS, and now with the exit of JGX from this Worlds, 5JDX now has picked up some JGX players. Grolsch and Dario being the two biggest coming from the JGX A team
as well.
Jiffy is on the A team as well.
Yes.
JP Jango is tagged as JGX. I don't think he was on the A team. I think he's always been 5JDX.
He was. He
Right.
played for them in Blood League.
That's right.
I will say one thing though. Compared to the 5JDX rosters from recent years, this actually, to me, feels like a very different team.
It does.
So, I think even if you look at it, they have 2 players from their 2021 roster still.
All right, we are beginning with our Mac ban here. Oh boy, they have. I was remiss in getting the right links. Where's my
ad? So what I've got so far here, that's not showing correct, but Darksea Corsairs have picked Vitric Station and Polar Highlands. Fifth Jaguar Dragoons have picked Hibernal Rift and Mining Collective.
Oh, these guys went so fast. I didn't even get a chance to write this stuff down. Holy hell.
Vitric Station is the first map. Mining Collective is the second map. Polar Highlands is the third map. Hibernal Rift is the fourth map. And Crimson Strait is the fifth.
Can you give me the second again?
The second map is Mining Collective.
All right, and then our sides are.
So they're still picking the sides. Vitric Station Team 1 is going to be 5th Jaguar Dragoons. Mining Collective Team 1 is going to be Darksea Corsairs. And 5th Jaguar Dragoons is Team 2 on Polar Highlands. That's their choice. So it'll be Darksea Corsairs on Team 1.
Just waiting on this. Hibernal choice.
Yeah. Team's taking a little bit of time just to talk it out, perhaps. I imagine they have strats prepared for both sides, but they probably know which one they prefer.
There we go. There'll be 5J on Team 2 again.
Darksea Corsairs Team 1, so 5th Jaguar Dragoons is going to be Team 2 for Hibernal. So there is one team side switch midway through, I believe.
Oh, maybe. I'm still waiting on Crimson here. Real quick, because I have these things mixed up. Both these teams NA servers, right?
I'm just going to double check that for you. I'm seeing EU server for.
Okay, and then
the first one's
the
server. The second
zone.
one is the time zone. So yeah, both are North America for server.
Okay, cool. All right, so our first map is going to be Vitric. Okay. 5J is good where they are.
So I'll pop up the map strat there for
Yes,
Vitric Station
so.
if you wish to discuss that.
Yeah, one thing I sort of want to highlight here, even at the start of it all, is just that, just sort of outlining the history of these two teams, or at least recently. 5JDX probably, as we all know, they lost in the invitational match against KDCM. Everybody thought that 5JDX was just a shoehorn in to skip Comp Q. I feel like 5JDX probably got a bit of a wake-up call there, so I think that they've been putting in a lot more effort recently to improve. I know they've been scrimming a lot, playing CompQ a lot, whatnot, and DSC being sort of that newer blood, I feel like a lot of people are going to underestimate them on how they play. I don't remember. I believe DSC did a brawl push last time they were on Vitric. 5JDX being team one, I'm really just expecting them to do a control, 2 bigs up top and the back, maybe Crusader or something like that up top at Theta, just establish a 3 cap, and then I really don't think 5JDX is going to push. I think they're just going to sit there and just try to trade down DSC. DSC, on the other hand, may just... I don't remember what they did last time they were on this map, but I really want to say they just ran over the top. Like, I really want to say that they just ran their opponents down, and I kind of wish I pulled up their last VOD here, but that's kind of what I feel like is going to happen. I feel like if DSC has been reviewing 5JDX stuff, they're probably going to be like, these guys are going to want to trade. I'm not really sure if I could beat them in trading, so let's just try a brawl. But there are a lot of names on DSC I do not recognize.
Some of these players have been around for a while, playing in more middle divisions. I mean, Hollow, House, Zelk, Red Baron, all very familiar. Sir Epic Pawner, Royal Star, Primos. I think even Fire Ant is a name I recognize. Indian. Yeah, so these guys have been around for a while. As a team, though, I think they've been. Did they even form up last year, or was it at the start of the current year? Relatively new team, though.
DSC, I
the
think
players have been
started
around in the middle divisions for a while.
DSC started this year, and they started Div B with the first tournament of the year, and then that was very clearly seen that they were a Div A team, as evidenced by their placing here.
Yeah. I can definitely agree with that. I would say that 5JDX probably just has a lot more advantage of cohesion. A lot of these guys have been playing together for years under the JGX 5JDX name. But I don't know. I also would have predicted that KDCM would have beat Casterian, and Casterian beat KDCM. So I wouldn't trust my predictions right now.
DSC with a lot of shooters, 5J with a very aggressive and strong wolf pack, as well as traders. So we'll see how much that wolf pack comes into play.
Yeah, this would definitely, I mean, it would still be considered an upset if Fifth Jaguar Dragoons ended up losing this, I do believe. But, Dark Sea Corsairs, they qualified through the Invitationals, showed that they were, I'm mixing them up with another team. They were bottom placement in Invitationals, were they not? Yes. Sorry, my adjustment there. So yeah, their performance in the Invitationals, they managed to qualify, but they're in the seeding matches, they didn't put up a very strong showing. So I definitely would consider the Fifth Jaguar Dragoons to be favored here, even though they are coming in, technically as the lower seed in this top 12.
All right, both teams working their way towards a lock. Oh, first team one is already locked. Team two working their way towards it, getting everything set up. Tios, any last thoughts sort of on here on Vitric here, or any oddball strats that you might suggest to folks who are still banging it out in the queue?
As an Obbins player, I just have to say, run at the enemy.
Fair
just
enough.
Run at them. When in doubt, brawl. When in doubt, brawl. Our map pool is so brawl friendly right now. Hibernal, you can brawl. You can brawl run. Polar, you can brawl run. Mining, sort of. Really, the only map you can't really brawl on in this pool is Crimson, which is coincidentally, I also hate Crimson. Of course, there's no connection between the two. But yeah, I mean, honestly, when in doubt, brawl it out is sort of my motto for this Worlds. It's in a pretty good spot in the meta right now, so I think you can always just W key. And I think every single team in this... I feel like every single team in this league right now is sort of throwing if they don't have... If their strat doesn't have like a contingency, what do we do if they brawl run at us? I feel like they're throwing. Pretty much every strat you make, if it's not brawl, has to be brawl proof in this current meta.
All right, words of wisdom from Tios. I'm going to go ahead. Both teams ready now. I'm going to go ahead and launch them. Get us into our first match of 5JDX v Darksea Corsairs.
And again, I'm going to keep on using the first-person spectate view here on MWO Leagues 2. So if you want the overhead spectator view, check out MWO Leagues 1. If you want that first-person view, just see how the players are lining up their shots, feel free to join us here on MWO Leagues 2.
Let's get this map from a different angle to start from. Let's get a, oh well, never mind. We're gonna start. All right, I'm over here with the Darksea Corsairs. Looks like we've got a Executioner, a Warhammer 6D. Interesting. We've got House in a Cheetah, our Stalkers, Crusaders, and a Black Knight from Hollow. I'll take a look at those builds momentarily. Our Black Knight running binaries. Our Stalker also running binaries and ER Meads. Let's check out this Warhammer. That I'm kind of... Yep, 2 binaries and 6 mediums Crusader with heavy PPC, small lasers. So a lot of big hitting weapons over here on DSC, looking at mid-range to push.
This looks received to me. A lot of laser vomit. Interestingly, it's a Stalker 7D with 4 large lasers, not running binaries or large pulse. And it's not the 5S with the ER large, which on this map would probably be a little bit excessive range. The
right.
DPS is going to come out of the Mad Cat Mark II-B with AC5s and ER PPCs.
Brower taking some hits as Darksea Corsairs takes positions. UAVs up, getting a scout. No one taking Theta, but Cougar threatening it with the Viper. Mislinks with Dario working out to the right-hand side, dropping a nice little airstrike, which misses. But we've got some early trades going on here. Interesting that we're getting JGX tags in-game. You won't see that on the stream, but 5J taking up both sides of essentially their citadel here. And Bacon Lord over here just looking to jump someone in those snubs and small with that Hatchetman. And doing fairly well. Ivazovsky trading, getting out-traded in this Exi. Open in the back due to an airstrike. But otherwise, you know, taking some hits, down to 71% already. Brower and the Phoenix Hawk on the other side, meanwhile, down to 82% from trading. Yeah, we're just bleeding armor all over the place here. It looks like Darksea Corsairs might have a smidge of an armor advantage. Not much, though, as they grew up here.
Both teams just content to trade across the center ramps.
Yep, Dario and the Mistlinks with these heavy medium lasers is really just making Zelk think about things with the Crusader, getting a good burn in there, or almost a good burn in there from Indian and that Warhammer, sitting probably a little far back for the binary lasers to be doing all the damage that they need to do. Bacon Lord and Cougar just stalking this right-hand side here, their right-hand side. And Hollow in the Black Knight down to 64%. This is just 5J out trading right now. The Corsairs are going to need to make a move. Cap's not really an issue at this point. So
Side torso open on Hollow. I don't think it's going to be an extra light engine, but that would be all of its cooling and a lot of its weaponry if it loses that side torso.
Yep, that is definitely going to be rough there. Poner over here at 70% in the Stalker with an open head and also a side torso. They're just getting absolutely bodied by the 5J traders, and also Bacon Lord, Cougar, and starting to make a move here on Primos, actually. Primos drops down to deal with these side traders, the Hatchetman and Viper moving to counter. House with the Shard coming in here at 88%, making some very good headway against Bacon Lord and Cougar. Primos a little worse. Ivazovsky dropping down to support now. Everyone is down. 5J is down, looking to take out the I'm sorry, not 5J. Darksea Corsairs is down.
Side torso already. And it's now got an Arctic Cheetah on them.
Yep, here we go. Monk and House Primos coming to support House here against Monk and Brower. Dark Sea Corsairs making some moves. We get Zelk down in the Crusader against, and then Indian down as 5JDX pushes over. Monk goes down, Brower goes down, leaving Hollow, Primos, and House to sort of work on cleanup down here. Bacon Lord and Cougar coming along. Gonna try to finish off Epic Poner here, who I don't think sees them coming. I believe was halved as well. Just gonna go down to CT. There they'll be moving on to Hollow next, theoretically. Cougar especially gonna take out Hollow. Try to keep this roll going. Now on the other side, we've got House going down in that shard again. Primos again before I can even see what's going on, and Fire Ant in this fire starter with some snub nose, gonna hold on. Maybe will he be able to get Bacon Lord? Maybe, but unfortunately no. Jiffy coming in with the Mad Cat to shut that down. Basically some trade going on the front with a nice brawl close by 5JDX.
Heavily wounded mechs on the remaining side there with 5th Jaguar Dragoons, number mechs open side, torso, or leg. But they do pick up the win.
All right, and we're going to get those scores for you. But looking at it all around, we've got a lot of damage coming in from 5JGX, and that was the trading that we saw. They were there just out trading DSC, and then they just wait for something to pounce or to pounce on them and countered, keeping DSC's damage relatively low. So I'll throw you over to the scoreboard for a little bit so you can see some of the detailed stats, and then we'll turn it over to Tios for some chat about what happened and what we are looking forward to.
Yeah, so pulling up the map here.
All right, headed on over the map to Tios. You still with us?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Well, I would like to say that my brawling prediction was woefully wrong. Yeah, both teams just honestly ran top center. DSC had a bit more of a laser vomit heavy deck, and 5JD had a bit of a mix of vomit and DACA. Honestly, I really feel like this match just went down to DSC taking too much early damage and not winning their trades. Both decks were fine, both strats were fine. If I were DSC, I would have pressed the advantage a little more with Vomit, just knowing that you can out-trade a lot of the DACA boats. But really, it just felt like DSC wasn't winning their trades. There wasn't I don't think that there was a mech lab loss or anything related to that. I just think that DSC needs to improve their ability to get early damage, improve their trading ability, and that's all that's all they need to win. I think these matches were pretty much mirror as far as their strats go. The decks varied a little bit, but yeah, just too much early damage in the favor of 5JD.
One question I'd like to pop up here, if you would cover it. There was a drop down by 5th Jaguar Dragoons on one of their mechs from high ground position into the low ground, which I found an interesting move to voluntarily take the low ground.
Well, if you watched the 5JDX's mediums, they were actually wrapping around and getting cheeky angles a fair amount, which I think is a perfectly valid strat as long as your mediums are smart enough to not get caught out. So, say, Hatchetman and Phoenix Hawk poke in, get a 1 or 2 shots off with their snubs, and then immediately bail and back off. That is a very powerful way to just sort of destabilize the mechs up top. And how do I put this? When DSC dropped to fight them, I don't want to say it was a mistake, because DSC was not winning their trades up top. So if you're not winning your trades, you have to change something up. So DSC dropping to brawl may have been the smarter play, but it sort of felt like DSC dropping was the beginning of the end there. It sort of felt like they gave 5JD the absolute control of the match. I would say 5JD was in control for a lot of it, but I would say 5JD's low ground plans felt more like calculated wide angles
Okay.
And DSC's low ground plans felt like more desperation. We need to drop and kill something. Of which, yeah, they did definitely get like 3 kills on the low ground, but I feel like the moment that they did, they just gave 5JD full control.
So going forward, if it's an issue with Dark Sea Corsairs maybe not being able to trade evenly against JGX, if they're just continuously getting out traded, which kind of looked like the case here to me, what kind of adjustment would they be able to make on these other maps? I mean, if you know your opponents just shoot better than you, like, do you just brawl rush them, or do you?
Well, actually, we've got Team 1 locked at this point, so let's push on to mining, and we can discuss exactly that, maybe with a little more focus on it on the map. That might help answer that question on what can you do.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm not confident in beating my opponent in trades, I am definitely going to try. Cap strats don't work on mining. Mining is too small of a map to cap strat. So I really think that DSC's best option is just a balls to the wall brawl. Brawling on mining is an interesting thing. Mining is definitely one of those maps where there's not a lot of new tech just because it's been around for so long. But I think, that's the wrong color. I think if I was DSC, I would honestly just go over Citadel line, Gamma, Epsi, push, and wrap in. I know 5JDX likes to brawl on this map. I know it's a very common choice for them. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they were going to brawl here, but I feel like if I was DSC, I would just push over Epsilon Gamma side, and then if 5JDX wraps around Sigma side here and tries to control, DSC just needs to get the 3 cap and hold. But a brawl sitting on 3 cap if the enemy tries to kite, I really feel like that's the type of strat DSC needs in order to beat 5JDX here. Because as last match showed, straight up trading is not really the best play.
All right, and actually, let's see if they come to the same conclusions. I'm going to go ahead and launch this match. Both teams are ready, so off we go. Thank you, Tios.
That being said, though,
yes,
I'm also not a favor of rewriting strats on the fly. I feel like writing strats the minute of the match is how you lose every game. So there's a very solid chance that even after losing drop 1, DSC may do the same thing and just stick to their guns, which I will fully respect.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My time with DPS and every time someone's like, why don't we change this strat? Every single time it's like the day of or the day before it goes poorly. There's definitely something to that. All right, waiting for the teams to load in. I hear the music. That was quick. All right, I am... Which side am I on? I am on 5J side. All right, so we've got Catapult A1. There's our 6T, a Viper F, some Kid Foxes. What are we looking at here? SRM Bomber on the Catapult. Binaries and Smalls on that Crusader. Hang on. There we go. That's what we're missing. And then we've got Overwatch Marauder, Heavy, Large, and Mediums. Exy with the ER peeps. Let's see what the Summoner is. Summoner is SRM, so 5J is just going to do a push here. Absolutely, and off they go. They're almost to Theta using their open side. What do we got on DSC side?
Dark Sea Corsair's got a number of Pop-Tart mechs. Summoner is ERPPC. Executioner is triple ERPPC. Rival, Crusader, and the Firestarter all have some PPCs of one type or another. So I'm expecting more of a trading setup here.
5J not taking Epsilon. It was not to draw attention, but they are spotted. They're absolutely spotted by what would have been up there? The Crusader getting some shots off.
Yeah, got the spot there with the
Eagle. Darksea Corsairs pulling back to receive as soon as they spotted it. It might be a little too late, but they are stretching out the line to see what they can do, buy themselves some time. They're not getting quite enough armor off of 5J as they gather and move into the push any second here. The momentum stalled just a smidge, and here we go with the Summoner and the Light Pack pushing on the left side. Bacon Lord open somewhere at 90%. That's usually like a head, open head. Yep. And the rest of them pushing Darksea Corsairs into this corner. Epic Poner with the rival at 69%. Just trying to hold off, and Indian in the Crusader is the first one to get jumped here at 42%. Let's see, 34, holding on as much as he can. Brower moving on with the Summoner up against House, Hollow, and Zelk as the rest of finished up Indian. We've just got a straight up brawl with mechs that I don't think we're ready to brawl. Poner trying to get in there with the rival, just getting swatted down by Brower in the Summoner. And we've got all the rest of the mechs just trying to hold the high ground as 5J tries to jump up it and push in. Hollow open at 52%. Red probably really close to being halved. There's the half. House and the Phoenix Hawk going down. It is now 3-0 in the favor of 5J as they go through here. Hollow going down as well. 5J just getting all around the Darksea Corsairs. The Darksea Corsairs did not pull back quite far enough, allowing 5J to surround.
Positioning at all from Darksea Corsairs.
Yep.
Also some issues with focus fire.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard when you're surrounded. Like Ghosty was saying, you can't even twist. And there goes Primos down. Primos down. Hang on, clear out of the way. Thank you. 2 legs. So yeah, very, very aggressive. There's that balls to the wall push that Tios was talking about, I think. And just brutally done. It is an 8-0 sweep on that one. Well done to 5J on that push.
Low ammunition count remaining on Brower's Summoner there at the end. But they had enough. Didn't even run out.
Damn. So the side that I said should brawl got destroyed by a brawl. Feels bad. Sorry, I looked at the stream and I saw the Gengar gif and I was like, that's cute. And I was like, wait, that's me. It's actually not my profile picture anymore. Hasn't been it for a hot minute. But anyways, yeah, this felt like a DSC scout failure, to be honest. It felt like DSC couldn't scout the push, and as a result, couldn't move on the map properly to respond. So when you don't know the brawl push is coming, you just lose. If you fail to scout the brawl push and you let the brawl push catch you off guard, you sort of just forfeit your win right there. Because DSC ended up fighting in a close quarters battle in that little corner of the map near Epsilon. They fought in that little corner and they didn't have brawl mechs. Like, they had Gaussy or large mechs is what it looked like up close. Ivor, you do not have a macro to say team 1 5 minutes beginning now.
You know what? Listen, I'm going to one up you, Tia. I got one for team 2 too.
Oh my goodness. You know what? If I had to type it 8 times in one day, sorry.
Yep.
five drops, 4 games.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's okay. Too much. That's
Smarter,
fair.
not harder, Tios.
Yeah. But yeah, it just felt like when you don't scout the brawl push and you let the brawl push catch you off guard and immediately get up close, the only way you beat brawl is get early damage as they try to close, and by kiting and pulling range and farming them as they approach. And DSC couldn't scout it. They couldn't farm. They couldn't get that early damage on approach. And yeah, that sort of spelled the loss. Like they sort of lost inside the first minute. To be entirely honest, like
just the map here quick.
Mm-hmm.
The retreat position that the Darksea Corsairs took from the high ground smokestacks, pulling back to behind this container here. That just is not a good position to receive. The lights are able to play with cover around this satellite dish in the low ground for anyone who drops down there, or even if you stay in this passageway beside the smokestack, the brawlers are just going to be on you instantly. And taking cover behind this container, trying to pop dart from there, that is just not gaining you distance from the brawl, and it's playing into that close range, fast closing range that the light mechs could employ. I did not, dropping from the smokestacks. Yes, you want to pull back and gain distance, but you need to open up the map, move toward cupcakes or something, not into the corner of Fox 3.
The correct movement would have definitely been to fade over towards cakes. I was drawing on the wrong map strat like an idiot. But yeah, moving back here was definitely not the play. If DSC moved over to cakes, they probably would have at least gotten 1 or 2 mechs open by the time 5 JDX closed, which may have been enough to turn the tides in the match, to be honest.
It was the opening that was the mistake, though. All of the mechs were clustered up in one area. So by the time you spot the push coming, with how hard it was going to hit, there wasn't time to gain that separation. Receiving a brawl is very much about presetting, having your mech spread out already before you see a brawl push coming, getting that scout early, and then adjusting which part of your team you need to adjust while the other team can fire to cover them. If you're all clustered up in one grid, it's not going to work out 90% of the time.
I feel like even grouping up in and of itself is not a bad thing, but it's where they grouped up. In a place with no lines, too much cover to approach. I mean, 5 JDX can walk up here. Oopsies, that's the wrong color. 5 JDX can walk up here and be safe. 5 JDX can hug the crates here, walk up and take almost no damage. Like, there are just too many routes to cover from there, and grouping up in the middle of the map would have been a lot more beneficial. Of course, it's also a little bit harder to sort of react to that. I mean, if I was DSC, I would have looked at the Lance arrangement and immediately gone like, all right, they're going hardcore this side. If they push, we're going to have to bail immediately. But even looking back on their drop decks, let me go back to it real quick. DSC actually doubled down on Gamma side, which I feel like definitely poor play, but also one thing I'm sort of seeing is that DSC's lights were a little bit more cap focused, or not cap focused, but like, no, I wouldn't say cap focused. They didn't really fight for Theta, but like their lights weren't really focused on scouting. Like, looking at it right now, I see a rival and a fire starter that are just sort of sitting low ground when immediately what they should be doing is just jumping straight to the top. If you are on mining and you are a mech that can jump, the first thing you're doing is going to the ceiling.
All right, moving on to Polar Highlands.
Yeah, real quick, because both teams are now locked. So speed run Polar Highlands.
All right. I hate this map too. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I hate this map. I think 5JDX is just gonna 5JDX team 2. Yeah, I really think that they're just gonna run a control strat on Gamma Hill. I really think that they're just gonna set up Gamma Hill. They're gonna set up H9 and and I10, and I really think that they're just gonna plan to trade down. I think they're just gonna set up Gamma Theta Sigma, establish Triangle Bros, and then yeah, I think they're just gonna hold. I think that they're going to hold. I think they're going to rely on... I think in these past 2 drops, 5JDX is probably feeling very confident, and they're probably just like, yeah, we're just going to sit here and trade these guys down. I think... And you know what? Given how these past 2 drops go, I think that's a valid mindset. DSC, I honestly think they're just going to run up to I8 and H8 and just try to trade. I don't think they're going to run a brawl here.
All right,
if you don't brawl on mining or Vitric, I don't think you're going to brawl on Polar.
Fair enough. All right, moving on over to the match as we move into that. Thank you, Tio. Sorry to put you on the spot there for the last 30 seconds, but
no, it's fine.
Well stepped up. We'll move on to Polar Highlands here, which could be our last if 5J wins this one. That is our best of 5, and we will move on to the next match, which might end up giving us quite a bit of time. So here we go. The teams are coming on in. I'm over here with 5J. We'll get an Incubus, a Viper, and a Shadowcat for our fast movers. Meanwhile, we got a Stalker, a Summoner, Crusader. This could be another somewhat pushy bit. Jiffy in here with Gauss and ER large, Mad Cat, Gyatso with 6 ER large Stalker. So actually we've got and an ER large Crusader as well. So yeah, they are gearing up for a trade. What's on the Summoner? Oh, PPC Summoner instead of the SRMs. There it is. All right, so yeah, 5J setting up for a trade with honestly a smaller bit of Wolfpack than they usually run with. So that'll be interesting. They are taking the first. Darksea Corsairs might be given away by not taking the home caps, but what do we got over there?
Yeah, Darksea Corsair is running a lot of binary lasers. They've brought an Inner Sphere Warhammer, the 70-ton heavy. They've got a Catapult, Jester, the hero with binaries as well. Some ERPPCs on the Crusader. Executioner is quad ER large though, so they have range. It looks a little bit push to me though, not like a mid-range push, not as tradey as sometimes this map could be played.
All right, we're getting some action on Theta here. A couple of traded shots here between Cougar, Brower, maybe Bacon Lord, and Indian here, who's down to 88%. And with some back open, that is rough. But yeah, didn't have any support. So 5J is going to take Theta. No one interested in Kappa or Gamma at this point. I feel like 5J has to be, well, actually, Darksea Corsair set up the receiving line in the usual spot here, right on the backside, using those choke points. But there is no push coming. It's just going to be up to the traders to, well, trade. Ivazovsky moving to get angles with a 4 ER large Executioner over here, not going with the PPC build. A little bit more denial over Theta if needed, and they are moving into trading positions. Yeah, it's looking pretty close, but ultimately Bacon Lord's the only one that's taken any somewhat significant damage in the rival here. It's probably spread all over the place, probably the result of maybe an airstrike or something. Yeah, 5J just continuing to win these trades. JP Django down to 92% in the Crusader. There's that line. Someone who's out there about to take Gamma and then probably move on. Oh no, that's Dario. Does Dario have large on that? One heavy large, so might decide to take Pride Rock there. But Darksea Corsairs are kind of rotating away and around into our, I guess, sort of main trading line over here of Monk, Cougar, and Brower. Brower out on the wing here, just trying to keep a lookout on that flank side, trading a little bit of fire with Red Baron, who unleashes some maybe light machine gun fire. It was really odd to see machine gun fire. No, those are heavy machines, so some heavy machine gun fire from extreme range. As who's this? Indian also looking to push up this flank and move on to some traders. Checking back in, we've got Merkj in the Catapult down to 78%. Again, 5J all in the 90s pretty much. Ooh, Bacon Lord taking a little bit of a hit there. So trades
getting left behind a little.
Yep.
They might get dove here. They do have support behind them, so they're playing to the side of the cover that gives them support.
Yep. House Hollow, Merkj all working together to take Theta, succeed in neutralizing it, so that buys them a little bit more time as they continue to work on it. 5J rotating around, taking those the Gamma side high points there rather. Yep, Monk staying behind to get some shots off. We'll see if see what happens here. Indian and Red Baron coming along, about to go for the pick here. Here we go, starting to get some fire on here. Cougar still in the low ground. I don't know if they know he's there. They do now. All right, Monk dropping off the side. Red Baron and Indian basically just taking that trading point away. Hopefully gonna relieve some pressure, but Ivazovsky over there at 67% in the Executioner. That's not looking real great as he moves to get some angles and take over that spot that they just vacated. He is open CT. So 5J just going in there. Let me see if I can find the rival here as he works his way around. Bacon Lord, and we have sent someone over to, or 5J in any case, has sent someone over to take Epsilon to re-solidify that cap lead and keep that pressure up on the Darksea Corsairs. Looking at Jiffy, Jiffy's still at 95%. Cougar and that Viper still at 96. They are holding onto their armor and just absolutely putting the fire out on the Darksea Corsairs. Darksea Corsairs gonna need to play a little conservatively there, which is just allowing 5J to further exert that there goes Ivazovsky finally. Bacon Lord gets a shot off with those peeps in the rival. Closes off that CT. Hollow also open CT. So here you look at 5J, and what they are doing is just straight up focusing CT. So you're seeing some excellent focus fire there. Merc J and the Catapult open in a lot of places. And halved here.
About to go down.
Yep, Weapon Master pushing up in the Summoner. Just Theta is mine now. And 5J starting to collapse. They are up by 3 mechs. And they're just going to push this advantage and push into them. The tides have turned to where they're capable. Bacon Lord even up here in the rival. About to be halved. All right, so Red Baron, Epic Poner, and Indian looking to focus fire here. Weapon Master going down to his own heat. Let's see here. Cougar, Bacon, yeah, any of these mechs could be on the chopping block, but oh, hey, who's out here? We've got Brower in the Shadowcat here, getting back shots in this spot. So Pona, Red Baron, and Indian just putting themselves essentially, in the barrel to be shot at from both sides here. And 5J absolutely taking advantage. Yep.
Mechs on both sides of them.
Bacon Lord finally goes down. Red Baron down. All right, so we've got Zelk, House, and Indian. Indian's going to die here real shortly, I would think. No, he's getting away in the lantern, maybe trying to sneak Theta, as it is a 5 cap advantage right now on the point of 5J. Zelk being left here in the rival against 4-5 mechs at this point. Indian coming in to scrap with Dario is going to be a little too late. And at 34%. And here's, there we go. I mean, what more is to say? It 5JDX absolutely corralling the Dark Sea Corsairs here, and ending with a 5 cap. Very decisive match here on the at a 5J.
Looks like their mechs were, some of them were wounded, some of them looked relatively healthy there, just quickly flipping through them.
Yep. Looking at damages real quick here, we are have almost 700 damage from Monk in that Stalker, 500s as well. Just a lot of damage. There is a tale to be told there, but I think what really happened here is 5J's focus fire on that CT just was absolutely brutal for the DSC traders.
Focus fire was better. Positioning, they appropriately did their rotation pullback. But I think a lot of it just comes down to everyone shooting the same targets and a little bit to aim as well.
All right, there's some of those stats for you to look at. Tios, I know you have to run for the next match, but if you could give us a quick rundown before you go that, because we do have, well, actually, no, we're coming up on time, aren't we?
We have like 19 minutes.
Yeah. So if you want to give a quick rundown of what happened there and maybe talk about how 5J set themselves up for that. Would be
both teams honestly sort of played how I predicted, just sort of taking those early trading spots. Both teams were a little less cap heavy or a little less cap oriented than I would have thought given their trading decks, but really like this just felt like a repeat of drop 1. DSC wasn't able to win their trades. 5JDX was just in trading control since the start of the match, and then at the end the push was just cleanup. I think it was really cut and dry from 5JDX. They just felt that they were going to win their trades and that they were confident, so they were just able to go in and clean it up afterwards. Honestly, I think it was a really technical match, and really, I can't look at DSC's strat and be like, they could have moved here better. I really think what it just boiled down to was, if you're going to run a trading deck against 5JDX, you need to be able to beat 5JDX in trades. And DSC wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. All right, I do see Bacon Lords here. So, Bacon Lord, I'm going to leave the medal table in your hands. I hope you give good commentary as I prepare with my team for our match.
Good luck to you.
GG's.
All right, and welcome, Bacon Lord. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. Let's see. I have no real idea of necessarily what is coming up next. So as we get set up, if you want to take to the map room and talk through that match or any points that seem of interest to you, that may be a good time filler as Therex and I get stuff swapped over.
Yeah, you talking about the last match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna load the map strap. I mean, basically, what happened from at least from the 5J's perspective is we initially took this cap, and then we were gonna see what was going on, and essentially, like, you know, you want to scout what's going on over here, right? At that point, we had seen that there was a lanner. There was a lanner coming for Theta, and a Vapor Eagle way far away. You know, you could say, like, there's a lanner here, and there's Vapor Eagle back there. So we knew it basically wasn't a push. That point is when we saw that there were trader assaults back here. So that point forward, it's like, okay, well, you know, it's going to be kind of standard. So we switched from, like, okay, maybe it's a receive, into let's you know, spread out and start trading and encapsulate them. So we basically just, as Tio said, we just traded them down. I don't know, it's not really anything fancy or special that happened. Just shot them and they died.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to say it. Just, there was no, I mean, it's a big open map, like,
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much to say, and I think the story of that whole of all three drops there was just you guys out trading, quite frankly. But yeah, looking at that scouting and how crucial it was. Actually, how about mining? Because that was interesting. You guys seem to get
I was about to say, if you need time, I can go to mining.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. Thank you.
So the thing about mining is, I took some time and I watched all of their VODs. And one thing I noticed is that in every single drop, DSC favors heavy control over this area. Everything here, right? They love that spot. So the idea was, let's just NSR them. We'll just push on that lower, we'll prepare to push on the lower side of the map, but still scout. So in that instance, we need to make sure we look here. We need to make sure we look on the back of the map, and we need to make sure that we can see here. So we essentially just took our home caps and then pushed in. And once we saw that they were here and starting to kind of run away a little bit, it's like, okay, let's go, let's ascend it. So our bigs go over the top. Monk had an epic 1v1 battle against the Mistlinks, in which he defeated the Mistlinks menace. The rest of our team, went around here, and we pretty much primarily fought in this area down here. You know, I don't know why the Crusader jumped into our brawl push, and I don't know why the Vapor Eagle jumped into our brawl push, because they had kind of a good spot to receive here. I want to say they were up on these ramps, maybe like in this spot is where they were set up. And it kind of was a good spot to pop chart and fight from. However, with that said, it was a Crusader that jumped into our pack, and a Vapor Eagle just jumped all the way in. So we basically kind of got those two mechs. And once we got those two mechs, it was like, okay, let's send it. Let's go in. Let's finish this off. And we jumped in, and we just went from one mech to next, and it's sort of cleaned up. So,
All right, I'm gonna
all the while, by the way. Yeah, go ahead.
real
Sorry.
quick. Level's actually taking over casting on MWO Leagues 2, so this is Therax signing off. And for the continuing analysis from Bacon Lord, you'll probably want to pop over to MWO Leagues 1 for anyone, for the main MWO Leagues channel, for anyone on MechWarrior Online Leagues 2 channel. And take it away, Level.
All right, thank you very much, Therax, and we'll catch you later. All right, hang on. Just swapping stuff over to Level side. Welcome, Level.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Your logo is now Chester Cheeto, and I don't know. Let me see if I can fix that.
Hey, you can use Chester or the potato. For those that know, there's a reason why I switched to the Chester for a little bit.
Yeah. Let me see. That should swap it over to the potato that we all love and acknowledge existence of.